Does that make sense? Those are the core value emphasis. The eternal perspective, real quickly, that is when you get to the follower room. Notice a little bit of a hill look. That's when you're here, you can see where you've come from and where you're going. And if you don't have the eternal perspective, you're still in danger of tripping off the bridge. Bottom line. Because you can't see reality yet. All you know is non-reality. And that's why this right here is critical. This is where the devil wants to get them. Because if he can keep you out of the follower room, he's still got a snag at you. The Bible says in Hebrews chapter 6, verses 4 and 5, that anybody has arrived here, if you've tasted and seen that the Lord is good, if you get off the bridge, there is no salvation for you. Why? Because you're crucifying the Son all over again. We'll go into that later. But once you get to a certain place, it isn't that you can't get off the bridge, but you most often won't. Once you see eternity, you make the race. Does that make sense? Okay. The next one, the 4 crosses. Each one of these revelations represents a cross. Different color. And these crosses go to the next principle. They set up a pattern. The first 2 crosses are Jesus' cross. Because of the cross, we can be born again. Is that right? Okay. And by his stripes, we are healed. That takes care of this room. Then it says, if any of you want to follow after me, you need to do what? Pick up your cross. And no greater love is a man than he laid down his life for his friends. We go through the 4 crosses. The first 2 are Jesus's, the second 2 are mine. So we'll talk about the significance of the crosses. Okay, the next one, if the next page, is the pattern of 2. This sets up the pattern of 2. How many crosses are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. But in them, these 2 are Jesus's. So we find that there's a pattern of 1, 2 with Jesus. Well, there's really just 2 for us then. 1, 2. Do you see that? The first one is being. Jesus was being the Son of God, and he sacrificed his life. Is that right? Well, being is all about sacrifice. Then when he did was he gave up his life, he surrendered. So you find that there's a being and doing and a sacrifice and surrender. And that's the same with us. When we pick up our cross, we're being. When we lay down our lives for others, we're doing. And that is sacrifice and surrender. Let me give you a quick example. I'm going to sacrifice my pen. I'm in a being mode. I'm going to sacrifice it to you. Okay, Jason? So, okay, I'm going to do that. What needs to happen before it's completed? I need to surrender the pen to him. We're great at sacrificing. We're lousy at surrender. And so that's what that pattern deals with. Okay? The side rails. You've had the side rails. I come into every place and I teach that immediately. They're the 7 rules of relationship. You remember what they are? Everything discussed is confidential, that list. We've taught on that, so I'm going to pass that so I can get to the rest. Oh, that is. Don't I have the? Oh, I did that before. I always used to have core values at the end. We did it. So the 7 rules. Those are what we're going to build. You're going to find we'll build the side rails. We're going to build the information. You see what I'm saying? Each piece is what we're going to build. And it's going to take us 12 lessons to do so. Each piece will be a lesson. All right? So each one of those represents a lesson coming. Okay? Now, what you're going to do, turn to your next page, please. You're going to discuss the questions, the accountability questions. See them at your table. What does it mean to preach the gospel? What is the gospel? You're going to discuss those things. Okay? There's 2 pages, 5 questions. Then you want to discuss the assignment you did last time. That's the next page. Bridgework 002, the assignment /homework due 001. Then would you notice Bridgework 002, the next page, homework. This is the homework you're supposed to do while I'm gone. First B, reflect upon the questions and the answers discussed during the session. So reflect on what your questions and answers with each other were, okay? And be prepared to discuss the bridge in more depth at the next class. Be ready of what you thought of the discussion when you think more about it. Write any special thoughts you have on a separate sheet of paper and share when we meet again. You'd be really foolish to wait a month and a half to start this. You won't remember the discussion at the table. This is designed to help you not to forget what you've learned. So if it's going to be applicable for you, you're going to get on it. Put it on your Palm Pilot. By this date, is it done? Okay? Pray for those on the team. You should have a list of everybody on the team and be praying daily for them. Share what you've learned with 3 people. Why do I do that continually? Third time you share it, you figure out 2 things. Number 1, what didn't I understand? And you've really solidified what you did. Okay? See what questions arise in doing so, what you didn't understand, and be ready to discuss those questions in our next class. If you go share what you're learning and you find out what you didn't learn, now you can ask, and we can help you with it. If you don't go teach it, you won't know. And then you're really wasting your time. Extra credit is to memorize Mark 16, 15, and 16, and then journal those Bible verses. Any questions on that? That's it. Put the homework in the to-do file, and the rest of the notes go under notes. Okay? Thank you.